Well, here we are again. Welcome to another episode with the Triple Clowns on how to fix horse racing. I'm Tom, and of course, as always, we have Randy. We have two very special gentlemen today. I'm going to introduce one because you have seen him, and he is going to introduce the other. You have seen him all over Twitter over the past month. His name is Cameron Roberts. He is the founder and CEO of Fan-Tack. This episode of How to Fix Horse Racing is centered on promoting our wonderful sport. And what Cameron has done in just such a couple months is fantastic with Fan-Tack. And we're going to get all into that. We're going to get into a broader scale. But Cameron, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and tell us who you brought along with you?
Well, thank you, Tom. That was a very awesome introduction. Not sure I deserved all the credit there, but I love it. Thank you for that. Romero joined me. Romero Ramsay, if you guys know him from Gulfstream, he actually rode in New York as well. Kind of, travels around quite a bit. And the whole concept of Fan-Tack, honestly, I wish, and Romero's probably going to tell me no, but I wish I could say it was just me. But I had texted him with this probably, I guess it was over a month ago, and I said, "Hey, Romero, why don't we ever advertise and market the jockeys? Like, the horses can't talk. The horses that are good are gone within a year or two. So why don't we focus on doing something for you guys and actually promote the sport with guys who can talk about it and kind of build it up?" And I've known Romero for long enough to where he's probably my best friend in the thoroughbred industry easily. And I know if it's a bad idea, he'll tell me. And immediately he hit me back up and he's like, "Bro, I love this idea. I absolutely love this. This is so cool. Like, it's going to be a great idea." And me and him just kind of, I don't know, we started it off, and he's like, "I'm promising you, if you do this, guys are going to want to join." And sure enough, we started with 3 guys, and we're approaching 25 already in just a couple of weeks. So yeah, so it's gotten
and that's what's awesome, Cameron. And honestly, and Romero, that's great that we talked to you guys before this. We've talked to Cameron before, and just really cool guys that when we talk about the younger flavor and what people are doing, let's be open-armed about this. You know what I mean? Let's stop with the, let's let them have these ideas and everything like that. I mean, what are you guys like 21 and 14? Is that what it is? I'm looking over here, but for real, Romero, how old are you? You have to be
21.
You're 21.
Oh,
yeah.
good for you.
I would card you and not let you in the bar if I was working. I wouldn't believe you, but 21. Okay. And Cameron, you're younger as well, right?
Yeah, I'm 27.
Geez, so see what I mean.
This is what they need. Our old parts like us, Randy, they don't need us anymore.
I know. And before anybody's listening to our How to Fix Horse Racing and are like, "Oh, here we go," they don't turn it off. Stop. This is what we need, everybody. These are the people we need because they are more alike of us than we think. And I'm talking from the old person perspective here. But no, that's awesome. And remember, you've been riding for how long now?
I've been riding since late April of 2018, and I was out a year with my injury and about 4 months with COVID because they closed down racing in New York.
That's right.
So let's do the math here real quick. That means you were what? I'm not that great at math, but you were
about 16 months.
You were 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, about 17 or so.
When you started riding.
When I started, I was 8. I actually rode my first race on my 18th birthday.
It's
good for you.
So weird. I mean,
you have an 18-year-old kid out there in Santa Anita, right?
Yeah.
Do I have an 18-year-old kid out here in Santa Anita?
No, that's rides out of Santa Anita.
Okay. You're asking Cameron. My fault. Yeah.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Randy.
Yeah, probably Santa Anita, Turf Paradise. There probably a lot of places.
Yeah.
No, but there was a lot of. I think we have a 17-year-old out here, but I mean, it's just amazing. So we'll go on from that though. But guys, we're talking about how to fix horse racing, which Cameron, you're doing your thing to make it more for the people,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and now we have a jockey here that knows, obviously being younger as well. I mean, which a lot of jockeys are young, but you know, you have let's say a finger on the pulse of the people, you know, being younger. So let me start with Cameron. What do you guys think about that? Like, you bring it to the table. What do you think is wrong with what we're doing, and what are you trying to do?
I just think as a whole, we've really mismanaged how, and I say we, because we're all accountable. If you work in the sport, whether you're media, on the backside, doesn't matter. We're all kind of accountable for not marketing the sport properly. And it seems like we've tried the same thing for 40, 50 years. And that's fine if it worked. If there was steady growth and steady incline, and like people argue, I think that's what bugs me is people argue and say, oh, well, the handle's up X amount of dollars this year and it goes up. But financially, it's going to be the same as the stock market. Like, it goes up with inflation. It's common sense. So the handle is going to be much more now than it was in 1970 because inflation, people are betting more, people have more money. It's just the way it works. Plus you have online wagering. And I think the thing that hurts me the most and what makes me fearful for the future of the sport is the best way. And I know from just experience from how I got into the sport, the best way to fall in love with racing is to see it live. And we don't see the tracks packed like they used to be. And there's this massive push for the entertainment dollar, and it's everywhere. I mean, there's a massive competition, but we have to be able to do something different. And I think by marketing the jockeys who can actually speak firsthand of the sport and they're actually well known, it's nothing against the trainers, nothing against the owners. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm around the sport, and there's half the time I see a trainer that I've probably heard their name 10 years, and I say, oh, that's what that guy looks like. Like, you know what I mean? So we don't see them a lot. The jockeys we see every day. So, you know, why not market them and make them the face of the sport, just as we would, like, if you think of, say, like a NASCAR or something, you know, there's owners and there's crew chiefs and all that, but who's the focus? The driver. Everyone knows the driver. So
That's a good analogy.
That's true. And with your website at what is it, Fan-Tack.com, correct?
Yeah, it's www.fan-tack.com.
What I like is that I'm guilty of. I go by the silks because the jockeys sometimes are like hockey players, so to speak. They have their hat on and their silks on. You put the picture up there. Hey, this is Danny Satano, etc. Here's Tyler Connor, etc. And oh, that's who that, you know, for sometimes the outsider looking in, they can put a name with a face and be like, oh yeah, I want to get that kind of gear. So good work on your marketing in there as well.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, it's true. I mean, and that's a good analogy with NASCAR, because I was trying to put one up in my head because I'm like Captain Analogy all the time. And I look at things like, you know, it is true. It's, you guys are the guys on the court or the field, let's just say the jockeys. We don't know, no one's buying a Phil Jackson jersey. You know what I mean? When, you know, as a coach or something like that, these guys are out there, they're athletes. It's fun to watch them. And it goes into what we talked about with even betting. It'd be great to being able to bet on jockeys. Like, give me an over under. I'm my man right here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the over. You know, but, you know, make them more superstars because they are.
That's accurate. We were talking beforehand. That's the only sport where ambulances follow them around every freaking race. They put literally their life into their hands 5-6 times a day.
And you know, and you know, this is me sounding like the bitter old man, but I will. And that's me saying, I don't want to hear jockeys bitching about politics and doing like really, really stupid shit. And I'm going to go back to that rant that Tom loves so much of mine, being like, you know, jockeys might screw up. They might do dumb shit. And there's been some that we've lost to having problems. And that sucks with anything. But all in all, they're kind of the coolest community of athletes that I've seen. I mean,
No doubt.
honestly, I mean, for real, like no one's going in the bathroom and doing whatever and then winning Super Bowls, and that's okay. Like we talked about, I mean, these guys, and when I say that, I'm not knocking all the other sports, I'm saying some respect. Some respect to these great athletes we have. And why aren't they superstars? Why aren't they?
Well, and one thing I would add to that point, honestly, that has always kind of gotten through, I guess, in my mind, is every time I think of racing and just the jockeys in general, we have the most personable and the most approachable superstars in the entire sports industry.
Not even
No
close.
doubt.
Yes,
You can
not
go
even
and talk
close.
any jockey, they will go and talk. Ramiro, and Ramiro would probably be able to speak to this better, but I mean, dude, how many like fist bumps do you give random people every day? You're sitting there talking to fans constantly. Like there's no other sport that's like that. Like go sit courtside at a Lakers game, see how many times LeBron, dabs you up. Not going to happen.
No,
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
no. And let's go right to it. So speaking of the jockeys, let's go right to it. And let me just start by saying, and like I said before, I'm not going to throw you under the bus to say anything about it. We want you to get a ton of rides. We want you to be politically correct. So we won't let you not be here. Triple Guns, we won't. But what's going on with that? Like, how do you feel when we say things like that? What is your feeling about that being a jockey?
When you look at NBA players, NFL players, soccer players, you look at their social media. I'm not speaking about getting rides and the actual races that we're riding. I'm just starting off on an athlete perspective on how I'm comparing jockeys to other athletes. They're all verified on Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platform that they use. They're always getting paid to, they have sponsorship deals. They're highly endorsed. And us, we're the same. We're on. I mean, I'm not saying we're endorsed, but we're on TV the same as well. You see us on TVG, and we're often I don't want to be a little bit on edge and say we're the stars because the horses are the real stars, but we're a part of it as well. We're a part of the race. We're a part of the connections as much as the trainers and the owners are as well. And I feel like we are overlooked in that type of way, not in the horse racing industry, but just as athletes on a whole. Because I grew up in Florida, I grew up in the US, and when I told my friends I'm gonna be a jockey, they don't even know what jockeys are. I grew up, I played soccer all over Florida, and all of my friends that play soccer, they're like, "Oh, I see you ride horses now." People are asking me, "Do I even get paid to ride horses?"
Oh, wow.
They don't even know that we get paid. Yeah, and people ask me, "Oh, what do you have to do?" I'm like, I've played soccer at a very high level. I've gotten scouted, and I could tell you one thing: riding one race is not. It's way harder than playing 2 soccer games. I could tell you that in the same day, and it's just one race. And Saturday I rode 6 races. So our bodies, we're very fit, and we go through a lot, especially maintaining our weight and just keeping that fitness, especially with our weight. We have to be very lean and keep all that muscle together while not putting on weight. I just think that we're overlooked a lot, not in the horse racing industry, but just in sports in general. You know what I'm saying? That's personally what I think.
That's a great point. And listen,
Wow.
and that comes to us. You're doing your job, and great job doing it. We need to do our job better. Maybe not personally. Cameron's trying. I'm trying. Tom is trying. We need to somehow. You just hit it right on the head, and that goes to what our show is coming to, culminating to, is that we're getting into it. Like, why is it that somebody would question him on if he gets paid for horse racing? Like, think of, and I totally believe that. I think I would have probably guessed that somebody would probably have said that to you. But why? What are we doing there? And once again, I go to being like every other sport, there's a sense of entertainment that goes along with it. It's a showcase.
Sure.
It's fun. It's the Super Bowl. It's this, it's that. Soccer, it's an event. We need to make this more of an event.
That's true. And they tried to do that. They try to do it with, remember the Pegasus commercials from last year were ridiculous.
Well, and they fucked that up. But you know what it is, and I think it comes down to this, and it's really simple. We don't play horse racing when we're kids. So somehow we have to cross this line. So every kid that played soccer is going to be a soccer fan. Every kid that played baseball thinks he can go out there and could be in the major leagues if things went right, or whatever it is. No one plays horse racing. No one plays jockey. So I think it's a carryover, and that's fine. No one plays NASCAR either, and look how big that is. But I guess we all drive cars. And maybe that's why. So there's something to that where athletically, we need to start bringing it to kids when they're younger to be like, these guys are the rock stars.
That's,
Mike Smith should be Tom Brady.
he should be. He should be.
That is-
And there should be jockey schools in the US.
There's another one. Yeah.
Every jockey that I've spoken to, or most jockeys I've spoken to, have gone to jockey schools. It's in Panama or Dominican, or it.
Puerto
And maybe
Rico's
there
got
is
a
an
big one, I believe, too.
there is, and I don't know, but it's there. I know there are a lot of like former jocks that live in like Central and in Central America that will have jock schools there. And it's not like, oh, hey, I'm going to jock school in El Paso. It's
Good point.
so
It's a good point. And but here's the thing. So with that being said, how did you decide? So you're a soccer player. How do you decide you're going to be a jockey to keep it on the same, note with this like lack of horse racing? Like,
Family.
it was cooler being a soccer player, right? Probably.
Well, growing up, my uncles, my cousins was always jockeys. So before I could even walk, I've always wanted to ride horses growing up. So
Huh.
I started playing soccer when I was about 8 years old. And I was very good in soccer. When I was 16, that was when I started to really become a very good player, started playing academy, playing huge tournaments all over the country, and started actually getting scouted and playing in really big tournaments at high levels. But my heart was always in horse racing, regardless of what soccer would have given me. My heart was always in horse racing because of my family. My family has just always taught me horse racing growing up. And everyone that's in horse racing right now, they have some connection to horse racing with family or friends.
Huh.
But if you don't have that connection, people aren't gonna reach out and say, I want to go to Gulfstream Park. They don't know what Gulfstream Park is. They've heard of the mall and they probably heard of the track, but they're not too intrigued to go to Gulfstream or go to any track. That's what sorry, did I cut out?
No, it's fine. You're going.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's very that's how kids get involved at a young age. It's family, but when you look at it, your horse racing is not really getting to a bigger scale like that. You understand what I'm saying?
No. Well, that's it. And I guess
great.
that's the thing because, okay, so my father got me into horse racing, right? Like he got me into going to the tracks and doing whatever. So I got into horse racing. Tom, I believe, is the same. Cameron, are you
deal.
the same?
Yeah, I was the same way. My parents owned a couple of standard breds. I think we had like 5 at the Meadows when I was growing up. And then
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I always used to say, like, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a, harness driver one day. And then I got really fat and I decided that probably wasn't going to work. So I'm like,
There's some
okay.
big harness drivers though, by the way.
There are a couple big
No
I mean,
guys.
kid.
you could, I don't think you're that fat. So
No, there's some
You still
chunky
got a
ones
future.
out there. There's some chunky ones that are out there in the bike. But I said like, okay, well, if I can't drive, I'll train. And then I realized I was around horses enough and I was terrible with being around them. So I said, all right, I'm going to own some. And I did. I mean, I went and bought some on my own. We did like an ownership syndicate for a little while with Phil Hudon, which was fun. But it's one of those things that I think, and that's where Romero's right. It's almost in a bad way. And horse racing's done it to itself in a way because we are at the end of the day like an agricultural product. Like it doesn't matter the
Sure.
trainer.
4-H's,
Yeah, we're like farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you talk to any trainer, and it's funny because I remember having a conversation with a couple of bloodstock agents, and we were talking about just like, why don't we promote the sport in a big way? Why aren't these guys out there like the trainers, the jockeys? And they said, well, you think of guys like Baffert, Pletcher, all these, yes, they are businessmen, but at the end of the day, they're farmers. That's what they want to do. They want to go take care of the horses, and then they don't do the big interviews. They don't do. It's not like Bill Belichick doing a post game press.
They want to go back to the farm. They want to go back to the farm and their horses.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of that's the whole thought process. Really, is the majority of them are just it's kind of just like farming. I mean, how many kids want to grow up to be a farmer unless their family owned a farm?
It's actually funny you say that, Cameron, because I used to when we were talking about being in entertainment for a long time, which I was, and the people I'm around are some of them, and they will say like, oh my God, Bob Baffert, he's not good at being on that microphone. He's got to shut up because he's not good at it. I'm like, of course he's a horse trainer. Like that's not what he does. He might be popular, but he's not a spokesperson. He's not. He's a guy that was running quarter horses in Los Alamitos before. Like he's not. Yeah. He's not trained to do that. You're absolutely right. We are involved. We are farmers in a sense.
Well, yeah, and that's why, like, that's why I keep going back over and over and banging the drum for marketing the jockeys, because they're the only ones that can really be marketed in a point that, and I'm not saying trainers aren't cool. I'm by no means saying that, but a trainer has extremely hard work with not a lot of attention, not a lot of spotlight. It doesn't happen. Inside the sport, we know, but outside the sport, we don't. But you could turn on Gulfstream. I just remember a couple weeks back watching Romero run I think he won with like a 16 claimer or something, Romero. I can't even remember. It was one of the claimers, but in my mind, it doesn't matter whether I know the sport or don't know the sport. That could be the Derby for all I care. It was a fantastic ride. He comes flying up late, nails him at the wire. Absolutely just money timed perfect ride. That's the guys to make the stars. And that's if we showcase that.
He's a kid. He's marketable. I mean, look at him. He's a good looking
kid.
He's got his shit going on. Like
he got that hair, man. Wow.
He's got the nice wood back on his bed. That's pretty nice shit right there, by the way. I like it. But like you could rock star him. You know what I mean? Like come on. We're all. I've been long and done gone that. Okay. But we can market this shit. You're absolutely right. And it's not like it's a lack of enthusiasm. And maybe if we got more marketable with the jockeys, they might have. I'm not saying they don't have enough, and I know whatever. But when they come off, and it's when you see a jockey come by the wire, and they're like, yeah, like that's. If that was an NF, that's Tiger Woods with the fist pump.
Right.
That's been using
Nike coming over with the with the point.
I mean, let's make them be that guy. Let's give them personalities. Well, let's let them have personalities. I mean, instead of being like, oh, that's not okay. Do you feel like that? Let me ask you. Do you feel like you're a little bit like? Do you want to be a little bit more out there, and you feel like maybe it's not accepted enough? I wonder that.
It depends. I'm thrilled with every race that I win. I'm very thrilled as soon as I pass the wire. But as soon as you finish the race, it's like, unless it's a really big race, people usually don't like fist pump or anything like that at the wire, unless it's like like if I win my first graded stake, I'll probably fist pump or go crazy. But I think that we're all just riding and winning, that it's just I don't want to make it seem like it's just another race, but you know what I'm saying? It's just
On to the next race.
you just want to keep it
Well, you're
together. I
class.
think.
Well, yeah,
You know?
act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Go ahead, it's your job.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, and this isn't anything on you, I do wonder, maybe if we were a little bit more,
Cocky.
I don't want them to act like, listen, I don't even like in football when they all run to the end zone and do their old thing. I think that's stupid. It annoys me. But maybe marketing wise, maybe we have that where, if you could be, like the guy, I remember the bowler, what was it, like Parker Bone? And I don't know any bowlers, but I remember this guy because he would do the like chop when he got a strike. Does anybody remember this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I know
remember the
no
guy's name,
bowlers,
Harry. Yeah.
but I know that guy. And like,
Yeah.
I bet it was great marketing. I'm not telling you to go do anything stupid. Please don't. But you wonder if we gave them more of a platform, like Cameron, what you're trying to do, promote them more. I hope we don't create the crazy beast that the NFL has created. But
No.
I'll find these guys if it comes down to it. I mean, I'll start playing
there you
them
go.
fine.
That's what you need to do. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Where like, I mean, you guys are so modern. Every jockey I pretty much talk to, there's a couple that are cocky, but deservingly so. Some of them, and I won't mention any names, but old school guys. But you're right. You're so bit, and Tom and I will talk about it before. I'm a big proponent of act like you've been there before. Don't do whatever. But there's a point where we need to give a little personality to these guys because they have it. They have it. I mean, like I said, he's marketable. It's a marketable guy here that I want riding my horse. You see, he's a nice kid. He's a good looking dude. He's young. He's fresh. He's doing whatever.
Well,
Is
yeah,
that
and
interesting?
And hopefully with what Cameron's doing, that's that gets the name out there even more. And how great is it going to be when you're at Gulfstream and you see a kid at the wire with an RM hat? I mean, that's
Yeah.
gotta be
There
be
it
awesome.
is.
With the palm trees at Gulfstream,
Yeah.
of course. I love it.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's really good. It's so far. It's been really. It's been a lot of promoting. A lot of new riders have been added, and Cameron's been doing a great job. It's gonna be really good because once people start wearing it to the track, people are gonna be asking, "Oh,
Where'd you get
that gear?" Yeah, and then I think it'll eventually start taking off more and more. And Cameron, he's just done a great job with it. He's done a great job. He just kind of run anything by me, and I've just pitched a couple ideas along with it. But he's really the brain behind everything. He's done almost everything. I would say everything so far. I really haven't done much.
Well,
Just bounced a couple ideas off
if
of
you
it.
weren't riding a horse and riding horses very well, he probably wouldn't talk to you. So you've been doing something. If you were just a guy that was working down the street. So don't no offense, Cameron, but don't give him all the goddamn credit. You're doing your job to show those hats as well. But no, but that is true. And it is weird because it makes me think of a point of, there is something of marketability where, people in the NFL, NBA, they'll sign a player because he sells jerseys, right? There should be,
yeah.
maybe if there was something, because this is at the end of the day what we're talking about, like if your horse takes a lot of money, there may be like some incentive to the person, because I want to put that jockey on because that horse will take a lot of money because of this jockey. Like, what's the incentive? And that's kind of weird. Like, which I think being the rock star jockey and everybody's wearing your hat, it will translate and you'll get more rides just because.
Oh,
But it would be cool if you got more rides because, I mean, in every other sport, you get signed because you're popular,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
sure.
I don't know how that would work.
No, and that crossed my
It's
mind.
a combination of both. Yeah.
Whenever I did this, and that's really why, a lot of the guys that I've spoke with and the guys that have joined and all that, one thing I always said was, there's really nothing bad that comes out of this. Like, we're going to sell some merchandise. It's great for the fans. But as far as the jockeys, I do genuinely think, and I believe that in a sense, if we can make the sport grow, there's no reason that a new owner and new connections who are brought into the sport will then immediately want to go to someone that they feel a connection with because they've seen the merchandise, they've seen us on podcasts,
Yeah.
they feel like they know
Yeah,
something.
That's right.
You know,
It's true. It's true. I mean,
There's
how
some
many
That's a
times-
connection
good
there.
point. That's a
and how
very
many
good
times
point,
I've,
Cameron.
you know, I mean, and we can all agree, you don't say anything because you'll get yourself in trouble. But but you know, how many times it's like he's getting rides because he's popular. How many times have we seen
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's real. That's real. You know, I mean, I'm sure the jockeys say the same thing to each other. Like I said, I don't expect you to answer that at all because
Well, I mean, we're I
That-
can speak to that just from the standard bred side. Like I had guys who drove for me and my trainers because there was a comfort level. Like if you ever saw a horse of mine that went at Northfield Park, it was nothing against Aaron Merriman or Ronnie Wren. They're both great drivers, but I always had Ryan Stahl driving my horses. Why? Because I knew Ryan better and the trainers felt more of a trust in Ryan because they had a connection with him. It's the same reason why if you go to a furniture store or a car dealership,
Because you might,
you're
sure.
going to work with someone you know. You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
when you go to the middle of Iowa, you might go to TGI Fridays where you never went there before because you know
You know the
what
food.
is. You know what I mean? You know what you're gonna get. So it is true. It is
Yeah.
in turn. I do believe that. Maybe it's not right, but it's true of
Yeah.
we're gonna, you know, it's what it is because I'm sure that's infuriating to a jockey. And like I said, I would never put you on the spot to even answer that, but it's got to be infuriating to be like, I know I'm better than that guy that's popular. I know I am. And he gets more rides because he's goddamn more popular than me.
Mhm.
You know, but it's got to be infuriating. But I love what you're doing, Cameron, with this. And I think this is a big thing. I don't know if people are going to realize what we're doing when we're talking about this, but I hope they do because we need to make it more popular. And I think we all go in this circle of how do we make it popular to the kids that are watching other things? Like,
Yeah.
that's the weird part.
That's-
You brought a very good point up earlier, saying that, you know, growing up, kids, you know, like I used to play soccer from a young age. You could sign up to play soccer. You could sign up in basketball camps, football camps. But I mean, you learn how to show jump. You can learn how to show jump, but there is no real tie to horse racing like that.
No.
You know what I'm
No.
saying? And as a kid, you're not allowed to bet until you're 18. So there's no interest to them. Why do they want to come to the track? I remember I used to love coming to the track just as a kid, hanging out with my family because I had a whole bunch of family here. But there was kids, why would they come to the track? Like, what do they what do they get from coming to the track? They don't get anything. They just go and it's nice to watch the horses race, but they're just gonna sit down and watch races, and they're not really gonna be enjoying it as much as if they were allowed to bet. I mean, I don't agree with underage gambling, but what other way can kids be incorporated into horse racing directly other than going to a farm or going to show jump and learn how to show jump? How can you integrate kids into horse racing?
You know,
Like,
what if
can
That's
we
you
had,
true.
like,
do?
what if we went to the
Okay.
college level and like had college horse racing? Like, how cool would that be?
It would be
I've never had
that would be great. It would be almost like, you know, out in some of the Western states, there's a lot of like barrel racing and stuff like that at college. We could incorporate it on the other side of the do a little bit of horse
Well, you
racing.
figure the
Because of
big
course
schools
there's
like
there's like the
Kentucky,
equestrian, like Romero was saying, there's like the equestrian stuff for kids that want to do that type of thing, but
even
there's
if they had
not.
like 4 horses, you have a sprinter, you have a distance horse, you know what I mean? Like Arizona State. I don't know, now I'm just rambling on stupid stuff, but like Arizona State, Kentucky, you know, the horses have it. Like, what if we at least did that and made it interesting? I don't know. I'm just
Well,
something at a younger age.
there's a good idea there because in harness racing, we do have a thing where we have the amateur races where amateurs can drive, and they have that whole, like, each state by state, they have
We're
those
looking to
levels.
do that, by the way, with Triple Crowns. So
What
we'll
if
talk
we
about that.
what if we did something as an industry where you had basically an amateur class, like an amateur class for these guys at, like you said, ASU, who has the big thoroughbred program, Kentucky has theirs, and like, even, I don't know, say places like, I know Virginia Tech here in Virginia has a big equestrian side of there, but there's a select few schools where these people can, let's say, I don't know, a few kids who want to try a new sport can try it on the amateur level, train. There would be guys who could teach them, obviously, and show them what to do. And then you just have, they're not going to fill up a whole card with amateur races, but you look at Pompano, Meadowlands, anything, it's like one race, one night a week. They have the New Jersey Sire Stakes, or the New Jersey Amateur Division, the Florida Amateur Division. And it's, do something like that where these guys can
Colleges get involved.
The 4-H's do something like that. They're at Laurel, in between some races, where you literally have, actually, it's even lower than high school. It's almost like little kids just racing on just a flat race for maybe 100 yards or so. It is,
Well, you know what it is, and I'm sure you guys will agree. It's kind of like when you talk about like fighting. You don't play fighting, you play football.
Sure.
You almost don't play being a jockey. You're a jockey. It's dangerous. I guess it comes down to that. Like, something happens, then what?
Well, I get that, and that's so true. But I remember growing up as a kid at Calder, they used to have the game room, and they used to have pony rides and stuff like that for the kids, to make the kids want to at least come to the track. That's what I used to love at Calder. When they used to have the pony rides, they used to have the game room. And not only that, they don't even have any new horse racing games, video games that people could actually play.
Jockeys Derby Club. What was that one? That was the best one ever. Remember that? The Owners Club?
I remember I grew up playing Gallop Racer on PS2, where you're the jockey, you'd go get rides and stuff like that. That was one of my favorite games. But going to the track, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to ride an amateur race to be intrigued by horse racing. You could go on a little pony ride. You can have little pamphlets to educate them about horse racing, little things like that. Sure. Like little simple pamphlets that, okay, this is what the whip does. It doesn't hurt them. It's just a cushion. This is what, if you're a jockey, you have to wear a safety vest, you have to wear a helmet. Little things like that can just get little kids involved into racing. It's not just riding an amateur race. You can have horses there that they're able to pet, different things just to integrate kids into horse racing, where it's not only gambling, because they can't gamble. So why would they feel like they would have to go to the track? As a kid, your parents would be like, "Oh, let's go to Gulfstream today." As a 10-year-old kid, what am I going to do with Gulfstream? I can't drink and I can't gamble.
Right.
What do I go to the track? I'd rather go to my friend's birthday party at Dave & Buster's.
Sure.
That's you are yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And you don't want to pick up losing tickets all day. That's you're raising.
Yeah, listen. Yeah,
You're raising a great point.
To write it off on taxes at the end of the year.
Sure.
But you are man wise beyond your years.
It really is.
Geez, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I've actually had that conversation, and they used to do the pony rides at Santa Anita, I guess. I wasn't out here then. And I did used to live on Hollywood Beach right near Gulfstream. So I know you're
really, that's where I lived and I grew up.
Did you? I was in the Tides building. You know that building?
Yeah, right, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, I lived in the Tides building. Yeah.
I live right now. I live on Pines and 72nd, right by Broward College. That's where I live, and I grew up there. I grew up and went to MacArthur High School.
Of course, he lives by the college. This guy's smart. See how smart he is. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. We heard
Smart guy.
But yeah. So Tom, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Real quick, because we got to do our other show.
Yeah. We've been going on for almost an hour, and we are really happy that we had two great guys on, and I'm gonna, well, I guess, breaking news, so to speak, right as well. We can edit this out if we want to or not, Randy, but we are
No reason to
happy.
edit this out. I'm excited about it. I love it.
We are happy to announce. I think Randy said it the other day, but we are part of the Triple Clowns are now part of the Fan-Tack fraternity. No, I don't want to call it fraternity. I don't like guys in fraternity. Fan-Tack family.
Fan-Tack family, we are, and yeah, you're gonna be able to get our stuff on there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and hopefully we're gonna be rocking some of your stuff. You rock some of our stuff.
Oh, definitely.
We'll go East Coast,
Yeah.
West Coast
And,
here.
yeah, and what'll be cool is we're going to bring on Romero, Daniel, whomever, a couple of the guys who signed up for Fan-Tack. You're going to see whether it's on the show with Randy and Sarah on Thursdays or our weekly show on Mondays or Off the Rail on Tuesday.
Oh, and well, before anything, show Romero's stuff real quick again. Show it out there.
Oh, the little.
We'll put it up there too. I'm sure. There it is. We'll put it up. We'll put it up when we do the editing. But
yeah,
that's a pretty badass sign too. I like it.
I do like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we literally, when we made this, and that's kind of the cool thing with, I think a lot of people see with Fan-Tack, is it's very personable from the jockeys. Like Romero, and we have another logo we're actually working on and getting on some merchandise as well for him. But we were talking like, hey, what do you want? And he's like, well, I grew up in Florida and I like Miami Vice. Let's do a Miami Vice
That's
style.
right.
And I'm
That's
like,
what you said.
absolutely, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Miami
So
Vice.
I thought it just looked great.
You don't like
everybody-
Miami Vice, man. You're too young for that.
You're too young for Miami
No,
Vice.
bro. You like the remake? Did you like the one with like Colin Farrell?
I like the colors and the designs. Even my rubber bands for my helmet, they're all pink and blue. They're
I
all
love
those
it.
Miami Vice
Well, that's
colors.
Miami, man. Yeah, I got
I
you.
love
Yeah,
that.
I got
That's
you.
great.
That's total
Um,
Miami guy right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Florida.
But thank you guys for coming on. And like I said, we're gonna see some of the Fan-Tack jocks on our shows from time to time. So it'll be fun now being part of the extended family.
Yeah,
And we could have talked all day with Romero's very, very candid and open and quite a smart young man. And he's
I feel like
running
an
down
old
a
man
golf.
being like, what a smart young guy. Like, look, this young man has a good head on his shoulders. Yeah,
Thank you.
turn into my
But
father.
yeah, so we're gonna follow him at Gulfstream. And Romero, what's your Twitter handle for those that don't know it?
I think it's Romero NLSA.
You think it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
We
is.
always talk about these jocks are so unassuming they don't even know. It's great.
We'll
I
put
love
it.
No,
We'll put it.
my-
We'll figure out what
my
it is and put it up
TikTok-
there.
My TikTok and my Instagram is Romero Mirage, but I'm pretty sure my Twitter is Romero NLSA. I made that when I was playing soccer. NLSA stands for Next Level Soccer Academy.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. But follow him on TikTok and Instagram as well. Yeah, that's funny. And Cameron, I botched your website name, so why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find all the great gear at Fan-Tack.
Yeah. So if you guys need any help or want to check out any kind of sales or anything, you can follow me at CDR Cam or the Fan-Tack page at Fan-Tack Co on Twitter. Also the website www.fan-tack.com. Wanted to go Fan-Tack, but someone already bought that domain name and wanted an outrageous amount of money for it.
That was
So
me.
we went
I saw
ahead
the
and just
price,
added the
though.
dash. I knew it was you. I had a feeling it was you. I said, damn it, I know exactly who did this.
That is
man.
great. Yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out. And Romero, do they still have that taco bar on Hollywood at the end of the beach boardwalk that has the ping pong tables and stuff? It's like outdoors, inside, not right on the beach, more towards the Ocean Ave. Do you know?
With the ping pong tables, I don't think they have that anymore.
No, it's near
No.
now the new Margaritaville. It was being built before. It was like across the street from that.
No, I don't think they have that place there
Damn
anymore.
it, I'm getting old.
There's
See?
a couple new places.
Is there? All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to. Well, because I was gonna say I'll meet you there and play in some ping pong, but
I'm horrible in ping pong.
that's why I
I'm
wanted
horrible.
to play you. I'm not gonna race a horse against you. That's for damn sure. Or play soccer. Or probably anything else. So I was
He's a
looking for
good,
something I
good
can win at.
hand-eye coordination guy, Randy. is.
Yeah, I'm just straight. We play darts or something. I might. But hopefully
Oh,
I see you
gosh.
soon down in Florida. Cameron, always we'll talk soon. Guys, thank you so much.
Of course.
This,
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
yeah, this was great. We'll be staying tuned to your and talking about your career. Good luck
Mhm.
with everything. Do you have any rides coming up for the Pegasus weekend?
Yeah, I ride 3 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and Pegasus Day I should be riding a couple maidens. I should be riding a nice allowance race and a couple stakes as well on Pegasus Day
Oh,
on the
nice.
undercard. Yeah,
Cool.
and then next week Holy Bull Day I should be riding a few stakes on that day as well.
All right, good.
We'll
I'm gonna
keep-
I'm gonna put a good word in for you for the people I know. Not that that helps that much, but I do work
Oh,
with,
thank you. I appreciate it.
I work with my racehorse, so maybe we'll get you on one. I'll
Oh,
try.
that's great.
Yeah. I'll try my best. I can't promise that they don't really listen to me much, but who knows?
That's all right.
Who knows? Who knows?
But definitely.
Great.
So yeah. All right. So thank you guys so much.
Of course.
And we'll talk soon. Cameron, thank you for the opportunity.
Cameron.
We're looking forward to working with you. And let's go on from there, man. I mean,
Yeah.
thanks,
So
man. I'm excited to work with you.
let's grow the sport and just make it better than it is. We gotta keep on keeping on. And with guys like yourselves, we're trying to do it.
yeah. Listen, you guys are doing your thing athletically and business wise, and all I can do is talk about it. So
And I can barely do that.
Thank
Thanks,
you. At least,
everybody.
trying to grow the sport, do the best we can for the sport,
damn right. Damn right. Thank you guys so much.
Cool, guys.
Of course. It was a pleasure. Have a
Later,
good night.
guys.
Appreciate it.